Dear Captain, accents are nice and all, but my drum patterns still feel so lifeless. Is there a special ingredient that makes my beats groovier?
Maybe swing or shuffle is what you're looking for. Fortunately, most drum machines and sequencers have this feature. So let's take a look. Hello everyone, this is... First off, what is swing? Let's see what the experts from the early 20th century have to say. When asked for a definition of swing, American jazz pianist Fats Waller replied, "Lady, if you gotta ask, you'll never know." Well, that's really helpful, Mr. Waller. Thanks for that insight. Bill Treadwell's Big Book of Swing from 1946 contains the following explanation. You can feel it, but you just can't explain it. Do you dig me? No, Bill, I actually don't. Look, either everyone's gatekeeping or there's something about swing that's really hard to explain. We should investigate. Let's listen to a song that has swing. We'll turn the swing off and on to see what it does.
Tequila.
The swing rhythm feels more lively, bouncy and cheerful. Without swing, the track sounds kind of choppy in comparison, and it makes it seem even more like an old video game soundtrack than before. While it can be hard to put into words what swing does to a rhythm on an emotional level, it's surprisingly easy to explain what swing does on a mathematical level. Let's say we have this sequence of steps. Let's give them some room to breathe. And the only thing that happens when I turn up the swing is that the even steps move to the right. They are played later. Simple as that. In the neutral position, the even steps are on the 50% mark, exactly halfway between the odd steps. Adding swing moves the even steps to the right, ranging from subtle, barely audible amounts to a triplet feeling. And finally, towards ridiculous galloping. Some sequencers even allow you to dial the swing so far up that the even steps coincide with the odd steps. And that's all that there's to it. We changed the timing of the even steps. And that's what causes swing. Let's take a look at this on an actual sequencer. This is Daft Punk's Revolution 909, which of course featured the famous Roland TR-909. The 909 had something its predecessor, the 808, was missing: a shuffle or swing control. This is why you won't find any swing on original 808 beats, but on a lot of 909 drum tracks. And this is a prime example. Without swing, the drum pattern sounds almost unrecognizable. But let's focus on the hi-hats first. As we dial up the swing, you'll hear how the even steps shift to the right and the rhythm starts galloping. On this machine you can even see it on the running light of the sequencer. Let's add the other instruments and compare. This is a classic. This not so much. Bouncing. Marching. Dashing forward. Steady pace.
Hey, that's how it would sound if they really were robots.
What do you mean they're not really robots? Here's the catch. While the manufacturers of all those lovely little electronic music machines generally agree that swing should move the even steps to the right, there seems to be a slight disagreement on how to actually implement it, meaning 50% swing on one machine isn't necessarily the same as 50% swing on another machine. Roger Linn's LM1 from 1979 was the first drum machine with a swing or shuffle feature. His way of calculating swing is still used today in many sequencers. Let's say these are our drum hits on a 16th note grid. We'll focus on this even step, which is affected by the swing. It sits exactly halfway between its neighbors, at 50%. This is the neutral position without any swing. At 100%, it would touch the following 16th note. At 66%, it falls onto a triplet position. If we overlay a 16th triplet grid, you'll see what I mean. The swing note lands exactly on the triplet grid. That's why 66% is also called triplet swing. This is what we used for Revolution 909. Another way of calculating swing is commonly used in digital audio workstations or DAWs. While in Linn's equation 50% means no swing, in most DAWs that neutral position is 0%. Linn's 100% gives us a wiggle room of one whole 16th note, plus another 16th note in the opposite direction from 50 to 0. So, what does 100% mean in a DAW then? Well, in most DAWs it's a 32nd note. But that's not standardized. It could also be a 16th triplet or something completely different. To give you an idea of how crazy things can get, on some machines, we won't name names, the swing implementation is nothing short of puzzling. In this special case, 67 won't get you the triplet position, but the nearest 64th note. So, where's the triplet then? At 75. At 96 you reach the next 32nd note. That was quick. So, you might think if 0 is neutral and 96 is the 32nd note, then you'd need another 96 to get a 16th note. Nope, the setting only goes to 127, and that gets you almost to the next 16th. So, the parameter values aren't even linear, they cause bigger jumps towards the end. Interesting decision. Either way, don't worry too much about these numbers. The most important thing is that it sounds good to you. And guess what? If the swing levels are mismatched between different instruments, this can produce even more interesting results, like an 808 States Pacific State or Outcast's B.O.B. Those are two beats that make excellent use of different swing levels, and fortunately, we already made videos about them. If your machine has swing per track, then try adding more swing to only the tambourine or shaker. What you've seen so far will serve you well for most drum patterns. But of course the world of swing is so much more diverse. For instance, there's negative swing, which means that instead of moving the even steps to the right, they are moved to the left. Be warned, this might sound very weird if you just slap it on any regular old drum pattern. The swing we have on most drum machines is 16th swing, but on some sequencers you can adjust the swing grid to other divisions. Some sequencers only have a few select swing presets. They can't be adjusted numerically. This one even has two kinds of swing. The regular one and one inspired by the Roland TR-8000. Here the only steps affected are 3, 7, 11 and 15. The results can turn out funky, but let's be honest, it just sounds cursed most of the time. Swing can be used for many things. Even in small doses, it can loosen up a drum track and make it feel more human. Depending on the position of the steps, it can make one instrument feel relaxed and another one snappy. Either way, it adds more movement, and it can alter the character of a song. At higher tempos, it can make a rhythm feel as if it's dashing forward. Yet somehow, it can make slow songs feel even more stretched out. Just think of a very slow blues track. And some of the funkiest drums have no swing at all. The groove can be a result of other swinging instruments interacting with a straight drum beat. Just try it out and experiment. See what different swing levels do to your track and move some steps around to get a feeling for what works best. If you want to read up on everything from this episode and brush up your drum programming skills, then take a look at this. We're starting to write a book over on Patreon, which we're continually updating with new chapters, and the most recent one is about swing. And speaking of which, as always, a big shout out to all of our patrons. Thanks to you, we can keep making these videos.